Alright, guys, so remember on the gun debate, right, we spoke a little bit about it yesterday, going through the Bill of Rights and the Second Amendment, right? So yesterday, remember what comment that she made, right? Talking about taking away Second Amendment rights. But yesterday at the debates, she admits that she's a gun owner.
She kind of like corrected herself too about it. She didn't like just let it be like some would.
Yes. So, what is it ultimately about? Getting what?
About
Getting the votes. Remember? So, sometimes the candidate will say something and they'll go back with their campaign teams. Their campaign teams be like, hey, these group of people feel this way, right? How do you appease and appeal to this group of people? Guess what? I'm a gun owner myself, right? So I'm glad you caught that. And so when you see these commercials being played on your YouTube, right, and whatever social media, campaign ads are gonna ramp up until the November elections. Pay attention to some of the things that we talk about. See if you can catch, right, lies, maybe not, truths. It's politics. But it was an interesting, definitely an interesting
I only
debate.
understood what she said. I don't know what Trump was going off about. I don't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
I heard eating cats and dogs and that. I was like, it's time for bed.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
bedtime.
That part was bad. I checked out after that part.
Yeah.
Guys, who took a look at the E-Class page today? Can somebody tell me? 9/11. Right? So, during the morning announcements, we heard of they played like a snippet of 9/11, right? But being from New York City, I was really close to the situation. So was your dad, right? I'm gonna show you guys this.
Our friend was the first responder.
Wow. So, I actually saw the second plane hit. I wanna tell you guys about my experience, but let me play this video for you. This video is about 2 minutes long, and afterwards, I'll tell you what my experience was really quickly, and then we'll get off into the lesson. The volume not on. Hold on, guys. I'm not muted.
Wait, you saw people falling from buildings?
Kind of, the volume is not working. Why is this not working here? Let's see. Well, so what I saw, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to play this video. If this video doesn't play, we'll skip past it.
I have pictures from the actual museum. We can look at those.
Yeah, from the museum.
We went in there. I cried for some of it. I couldn't look at it.
You always said it's small as well.
Okay. Guys, for some reason, let me see if the morning announcement video plays sound. Okay, yeah, cause I played this morning announcement this morning during first period and the volume was playing. So maybe it's our projector is not operating well at the moment, but, so we'll skip past it. Alright guys, so New York City, 9/11, I'm on the train and I'm going to work. And in New York City, the train that I'm on goes over the bridge, right? I usually take 2 trains, they go over the Manhattan Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge. Both the bridges are parallel to each other. And just behind the bridge are the towers, right? And I'm standing against the wall. No, I can't do that right now. I can't do it right now, actually. So, I don't know. So, I'm standing against the door, and I'm holding it like this. And passengers are sitting there. And all of a sudden, everybody starts looking my way. Isaiah, you with me?
Yes, sir.
So all of a sudden, all passengers start looking my way, and I'm like, why is everybody looking at me? Turn around, the window's there. Second plane goes right into the tower. Boom. Everyone's in shock, but we were all still. So on New York City trains, like how many people are on train? How many people you think are on trains at like a train car?
Oh.
Like one, maybe like 100 something per train car.
They're like in there like sardines.
Maybe like 200 people in a train car, like just about from this wall to the outside wall. Everyone starts looking, everyone is frozen, the train car is quiet, the buildings are like that. So remember, it's going over the bridge, so it's about to go into a tunnel. So we're shocked, it looks like a movie, smoke, fire, you see people, you saw people, so while we're looking, we're seeing people almost, it looks like they're jumping out the window, falling out of the window, or maybe just affected from the impact, but it was just a big explosion. And so the train goes under the tunnel and everyone is shocked. We get out, and where I was working was a direct line. Like if you just look straight down the street, because it's a straight street, you can see where all the mayhem happened. And the smoke, so it was, I worked about maybe 2.5 to 3 miles away. The smoke from the collapsing tower came all the way to where I was working. And you see people walking out of the smoke with like the soot, like the gray soot on their faces. People are bleeding. It looked like something out of an apocalyptic movie. And this was a moment in time in our history. And a lot of people who were close to it were really affected, right? So there's a lot of stuff behind 9/11. I wish I could show you this video. I wish it was playing, but it's not, guys. But every year we try to just keep this in our minds and remember all of those people. Right now, they've rebuilt the entire area and they have like a memorial there. So the memorial it looks like some kind of marble. When you get close to it, it's like a marble waterfall type of deal.
Wasn't someone just like stuck in there or something? Someone in there.
Were they?
Yeah.
Because when you
There's
go
all
up to it,
video.
right, it's like a square shape, but it has like a nice shape. When you go up to it and you look down into it, now there's a waterfall, and on the walls are engraved names of the people who died. And as you get close to it, you can almost feel the energy of those people. It's kind of weird. It's a
What's
interesting
really,
experience.
Yeah. What's really weird is you go into the museum they have this closed off room.
Yes.
And you know that's where they're digging to find the rest of the bodies.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah. And so a lot of other things ensued. The search for people who were still alive, search for missing bodies. It was an ugly scene. All right, guys. So let's get back to our lesson, right? So today we're doing second half of the Bill of Rights. So amendments 6 through 10. I want you guys to pull up your Google Classroom. I'm gonna put our notes on the board. Give me a second, guys. What's going on? Okay, open up your Bill of Rights review sheet. And I did put an assignment up there, but we'll get to that in just a few minutes. So on your Google Classroom, it says first 10 amendments. Let's pull it up. Okay, guys, so we'll just review the first 5 really quick. First Amendment, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right for the people to peacefully assemble, and a petition to government. So remember right here, you have these words, you have these terms, and definitions that you can always refer to if you're confused about something like redress of grievances, right? Remember to check those, and tomorrow is our quiz. Our Bill of Rights quiz is tomorrow. You want to study this, right? You want to study this, and it's going to look similar to the assignment. We'll work on it together for a little bit, in just a little bit. So, Second Amendment, right to bear arms. Third Amendment, no quartering of soldiers, right? Which really doesn't apply to us in this day and age, and hopefully it never does. Again, okay, Fourth Amendment, the right of the people is secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizures. Fifth Amendment is what? What do you have? What's the fifth?
Plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. What does that mean again?
You don't have to speak.
Right. Right. Okay. Now we're all caught up from yesterday. Now we're on the Sixth Amendment. Sixth Amendment says in all criminal prosecutions. Guys, remember this here. So, example, on our quiz and on our test, the Sixth Amendment has to deal with all criminal prosecutions. So, if you see a question that involves a criminal prosecution of any sort, what amendment is it going to be? Isaiah? Six, right. Okay, so in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of state and district, wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and the cause of the accusation. Right? Ascertained means found out to be determined. Basically, this is all of your rights that you are granted to in a criminal situation, right? Due process of law, right to a speedy and public trial, right? If someone is testifying against you, you have the right to know who they are. They cannot be held in secret, right? Guys, Seventh Amendment. By the way, you guys have any questions about the Sixth? No? Okay. All right. Seventh Amendment. In suits at common law, where the value of controversy shall exceed $20. How much can you sue somebody for? It's the lowest amount. Says it right here.
$20?
$20. Do y'all think that's petty? Think it's petty to sue somebody for $20? Alright? But listen, back in the day, $20 probably big money, right? $20 big coin. But technically you can sue somebody for $20 or $20 worth of property. Whatever it is. If you want to be petty, sometimes the court fees might cost you more. You might want to make an example out of someone or prove a point. But you do have the right. Okay. The right of a trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States. Okay, so some important keys to remember. Key word here, one of the words in this that might be a little bit confusing is re-examined, right? Re-examined just means to look at again or reviewed. Now, Sixth Amendment on your assignments and your Bill of Rights quiz, and also your Unit 2 test that's coming up. If you see a question about a criminal case, which amendment is it? Say, thank you, Dorian. If you see a question about a lawsuit, which amendment is it? Yes. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Guys, Eighth Amendment says excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. What does that mean? If you steal a piece of candy from the store Can you get 3 years in jail?
No.
No.
No, because that would be what? Cruel and what?
Unreasonable punishment.
Yeah, cruel and unusual punishment, right? If the piece of candy cost, I don't know what candy is these days, right? $1, right? And you get caught, can you be charged $100 in bails and fines? Right. So the 8th Amendment protects you against cruel, unusual punishment and unreasonable fines. Okay, 9th Amendment. Let me scroll up on this guy. Okay, 9th Amendment, the enumerated powers. I don't like this split screen, that looks weird. Okay, the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed or deny or disparage others retained by the people. Number 9 is your implied rights, right? It's not exactly stated in the Constitution, right? But it's implied. Those are your rights as a citizen. Enumeration means listing or counting out specific items or rights. Disparage means to speak badly about or belittle someone, something or someone. Right? Like, this is illegal. So remember when we talked about social media, right? And what you can and can't say, right? Yes, you can obviously exercise your First Amendment rights, but there are consequences, right? 10th Amendment. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. Given or assigned authority, delegated means given or assigned authority or responsibility to someone else, right? So, the powers not given or assigned to the United States by the Constitution means it's not in the Constitution, but states do have the power, right? So, 10th Amendment, power given to the states are powers that the states have, but it's not exactly stated in the Constitution, the 10th Amendment. 9th Amendment, the power that the people have, that's not exactly stated in the Constitution, right? So pay attention to those, because these 9 and 10 can get kind of tricky. So I think 1 through 5, we all kind of got, right? 9 and 10 gets tricky, but I believe you guys will be okay. Guys, you guys have any questions about these first 10 amendments? No. Okay. And again, what is the Bill of Rights? Rich? The first 10 amendments of the Constitution. Got it. Okay. Now, guys, what I want you to do is go to your Google Classroom. If you're already on there, get out of the first 10 amendments material, go into your Bill of Rights review. All right, you guys see this? I posted it last night. Get to that Bill of Rights review.
I worked on some of it last night.
You did? You worked on something?
Yeah.
Nice, great. All right. Did anybody else work on it? No? You guys got it up? All right, we good? Isaiah, we good? Marcus, good? Okay. Number 1, Krish, my good friend, since you worked on it last night. 5, okay. The right not to be put on trial twice for the same crime. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
5th Amendment, yes. That is correct. Thank you, Chris. Let's go around the room. Number 2, freedom of assembly. Isaiah, what you think? You can toggle back and forth between the first 10 amendments material that I posted on Google Classroom. But remember, freedom of assembly.
The First Amendment?
First Amendment. Team, talk to your squad. Do y'all agree?
Yeah.
Yeah? That is correct.
Okay, too hard, bro.
Alright. Number 3. Number 3, I like the support of each other. Number 3, the right to be tried in the state and district where the crime occurred. Ava, what do you got? What do you think? Remember, key word, right? Guys, remember, these are one of the questions. Look up for a second, right? Number 3, the right to be tried in the state and district where the crime occurred. What is this question referring to? Key word. Can y'all see this? Marcus, you can see it? Crime. Which amendment addresses crime? Does anybody remember?
8.
We just went 6. Yes. Remember, when you guys see crime.
So 36?
Yep. If you can't remember,
Yo, so who's 2?
2?
Yeah.
2 was the First Amendment. So the questions on the quiz are going to look similar to these here. Well, you'll just have to put the exact, like, the number of the amendment. Okay. Number 4, no quartering of soldiers in homes without the approval of the owner. Hebron, what you got? What you think? No quarter. Guys, squad, help them out. Help each other out. No quartering of soldiers.
Pardon the interruption. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor all those who were impacted by the events of September 11th, 2001. Thank you.
Are they gonna do it again at, like, Canada Post?
They really wanted to honor
Because
it.
this is when the first tower was
Day
hit.
off of school or something.
A day off of school, you think?
Like that was.
They should be a national day off?
It should be.
Yeah. Yeah, cause some of the cities, like typically on this day, you know, if you're from New York City, if you're in the city right now, you kind of feel it, right?
Wait, do they have a day off?
Huh? No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They don't, but that, yeah, good point. Maybe it will. Yeah, maybe it will. Sometimes these things take a while. Become national.
It's been like, how many years? 20, 21? 21.
Word. So, this was
How many years? 23 years, right?
20, yeah, just about, yeah.
That hasn't been a day off yet.
Yeah. There's still hope for the day off, though. Keep
No
thinking
question
alive.
4?
Okay, Hebron, did you answer the question?
He answered it.
You didn't answer it. You called out. Alright, Hebron, what is it? Number 4, no quartering of soldiers in homes without the approval of the owner. Marcus,
Wait, what's this or?
you showed him the first 10 Amendment,
I don't
right,
know.
help him out.
I don't know why he's not looking at it.
It's the 3rd.
Is it the 3rd? Hebron, do you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Some of your classmates are helping you out here, they're giving you a lifeline. Is it the 3rd? What does that mean? What's the mean? Does that mean 3rd?
Yes, yes.
Yep, it is the 3rd.
I do that.
Okay, guys, number 5, freedom of the press. Kingston? First Amendment, yep, exactly. Okay, guys, there are 23 questions here, and again, this is gonna look really similar to the quiz tomorrow, right? So, I want you guys to work in your groups. Work in your groups, sit in that table with someone during, you work on your own, but work in your groups, help each other out. I'll have you guys complete this assignment together, and then in a couple of minutes, we'll go over as much as we could, as much as time allows us to. And again, guys, reminder, tomorrow is our quiz. Alright, so between yesterday's Bill of Rights assignment and today's, you guys should be ready. Usually, guys, what you can do, since you're in the group, you can have one person pull up the first 10 amendments. You got those?
Gotta catch up.
You gotta catch up.
Wait,
Were you
can use the same number?
Bro,
Yo,
you
it's
were born, right?
It was 06 or 04, 06? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was born in 2006.
Yeah.
My mom was there.
Your mom was there?
My
Yeah.
mom was my dad.
Did she tell you about it? Did she tell you about it? Was she around when she in the city at the time?
Keep doing this.
No,
Look at me, bro.
Not really?
Right, but my grandma did. She said she did.
It's pretty much done?
What do you mean, why is mine like that? Look at this, bro.
You ready?
I think
You ready?
I was born in New Jersey. What's it called?
Wait.
My little brother. He actually in school.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Here's one finger.
Yeah,
Look at this. Look at this.
What? Okay, it was for.
Like who's?
Oh, you a freshman?
You look like
Uh-huh.
Salem.
Okay. Just came in this year. You be senior?
Yeah, I'm in the first period, which is kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, word. But it happens though, bro. It happens though. You might have to just set the example for him. Lily, you okay?
You would drink nothing.
Yeah, how you doing there?
What did you drink? Water?
Yeah, what you up to?
A lot of water?
Kinda working.
Can I use the restroom?
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, for sure. Grab one of those passes on.
You need drink. You need drink. Oh. I don't want to drink. Huh?
Isaiah, where you
I
at?
think I'm at number 9.
Guys, I also want you to think about, remember, so we talked about it a few lessons ago, right? And we're gonna continue to talk about some of the important amendments for you to know, right? Cause it's always important for you to know your rights, especially when you guys get out there. Talk about the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, right? Hopefully you guys don't get caught in any criminal activity, right? But understand your Sixth Amendment. Marcus, why you looked at Isaiah like that, bro?
Yeah.
Huh? Hopefully you guys don't, but understand your rights. Guys, did you guys see the Tyreek Hill incident?
Yes.
You guys see it, right? So, can you identify what his rights are, or what rights were violated? No. So, okay, so I'll set the stage while you guys work, right? Continue to work while I'll tell the story. So, apparently he was speeding on his way to the game, because he's a player in the game, right? So, police officer pulled him over, he pulled over. Police officer went to his window, said, hey, can you roll down your window? Now, does he have to roll down his window?
No.
He actually does. But does he have to roll the window down all the way?
No.
No. So he rolls the window down about a quarter of the way, takes out his license and registration, hands it to the officer, right? Gives it to the officer, officer walks away. Here's where it escalated. He rolled his window back up. What do you guys see as the problem with that?
I think,
We should have left it open the highway.
I should have left it open halfway.
Halfway.
Instead of full width.
He should've, what'd you say, Marcus? Huh?
Famous.
He's famous, yes, hold on, let me address that, I'll get to you, Isaiah. He's famous, and how do we know? Because one of the officers,
Paparazzi.
paparazzi wasn't out there, but
No,
when the
like,
officer,
like people take pictures.
people think, right, and that's why, probably why he rolled it up, right? Cause he's like, I'm Tyreek Hill, people are
They're on the
seeing,
highway, right?
he's on the highway. Yeah, he's like, well, not really on the highway, it's like a roadway that's like, the stadium was right there across the street. So, cop brings the ID back and shows it to another officer goes, hey, bro, that's Tyreek Hill, right? So he knew who he was. So that fame part, right? What were you saying, Isaiah?
I'm saying the cops probably, because it escalated, right? Cops probably saw you hide something. Like that.
Yeah. Typically, Tyreek Hill, he's on the way to play a game. No, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. He's on the way to play a game, right? Is he a threat?
Nah.
But let's say if Tyreek Hill was just a normal guy, hands the cop his ID, rolls his window back up, has completely dark tinted windows. Safety of the officer. Is the officer completely safe? What's up, Mark?
Oh, how fast he is, you think he'll if they, try to.
Can he outrun?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen slower people on YouTube, right? We've seen world-class athletes outrun the police, so I assume so. But for officer safety, when he rolled his window back up, officer might have felt threatened. Now, there's a case for excessive force, because then the officer proceeds to start banging on his window, right? Open up, so did you, right? So, Hebron, as we're completing the assignment, we're talking about the Tyreek Hill situation. Did you see it?
His house?
No, when he got pulled over and dragged out of the car?
I
No?
think I've seen it, but I don't remember.
Yeah. So then, what's up, Chris?
I think we should have left this one at least halfway open so he didn't escalate the
Yes.
situation.
Yes. Guys, in that specific situation, right? If you roll your window down halfway and an officer's talking to you, right? Keep the window rolled down, right? Don't escalate it. But then the officer proceeds to rip him out of the car, right? Dragged him out of the car, had him lay down on his stomach with his hands behind his back. At some point, put a knee on his back and his shoulder, right? Was that excessive force?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah. So, now, which amendment addresses excessive force? Take a look at it for a second, because this is a real life situation that just happened Sunday. This was about 2.5 hours before the game.
So was it like the 6th?
That's a four. Keep your computer off for me, Jordan. Keep your computer off. Worry about
Fourth
it.
Amendment.
And what does the Fourth Amendment say, Chris?
Yeah,
You see the trend.
So that's illegal searches and seizures. So,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
What?
It was both of their mistakes, actually. I'm not gonna take
Yeah.
the person's side. His mistake was that he didn't roll down the window, he was mistaken for the vehicle with the cop.
yeah.
So what's gonna happen is, what do you release or not?
Oh, he got released. Yeah, because he played the game.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah, so he got
What was
released
the street?
because he wasn't a threat and it was speeding, right? So a speeding ticket. So cop felt threatened.
Did he get fired?
Nothing has happened yet. Nothing has happened yet. So
Why does it seem like it's the popular stream?
I don't understand why you get so many these days to the cops.
sometimes it's
He didn't look like a parent.
Right,
I
and
would
that,
say it's both.
and that is a problem, right?
He shouldn't have put his unit like that.
He shouldn't put his window up, right. Right. Yep. Guys, look at the Eighth Amendment. Guys, look at the Eighth Amendment. My back table game. Look at the Eighth Amendment. Excessive bail and fines should not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel or unusual punishment inflicted. Right? Like, do you deserve, or should a cop be allowed to put his knee on your back because you were speeding or because you rolled your window? Should? Right? It's a gray area there, right? But I want you guys to look at Tyreek Hill's statement after the game when he was asked about that situation, right? Because I think it's interesting. He gave a really mature response, right? But like you said, Chris, there's fault on both sides because he rolled up his window, but then the cop was like excessive, right? A little bit too aggressive. Didn't try to de-escalate the situation, but there was other officers there on the scene too. I think like 2 or 3 other officers. They did nothing to de-escalate the situation. So, and this is why you want to know the law and you want to know your rights. So some of the other videos that I showed you guys, right, where a guy's getting pulled over or a guy's walking on the street, the minute the cop starts approaching him, he starts telling the cops about his amendments and his rights, right? Those situations typically get de-escalated. In the Tyreek Hill situation, he didn't. It's questionable whether he knows his rights or not. All right, guys. So now let's get back to this assignment. Who's still working on it? Is anybody finished? Yeah, kinda. Anybody finished? Except Chris? Lily, how you doing? You working on it? You good? Okay, so guys, let's take a little bit of time to work on the rest of this together, right? Marcus, where you at? What number you at?
I'm finished.
Are you finished? Y'all finished?
Yeah.
So I'm screaming, is anybody finished? Y'all quiet?
I said I was finished.
You said you was finished? All right. Got you. Okay, so we left off at question number, what question number did we leave off, guys? Help me out. Was it 6?
Yeah.
Well, no, it was 5. Right? 6 is the obvious one, right? One of the most controversial amendments. Guys, the right to have guns. The right to have guns. We all should be saying this. Second, yeah. And very interesting again, Ava, from yesterday, from her admitting that she's a gun owner. It's just kind of, that's really interesting. Okay, number 7, the right to a public trial. Who said that? Chris? Yep. Okay, number 8, the right to know the witness against oneself. Number 9, get somebody else. Lily, number 9, what do you think that is? Freedom of speech. First Amendment, yes. Number 10, the right to have a lawyer. Marcus, what do you think that is? Number 10, the right to have a lawyer. 6, yep. Number 11, the right to not testify against oneself. 5th, we all agree, right? We know this one. Okay, number 12, the right to not lose life, liberty, and property without due process. Kingston, what do you think that is? Without due process. Take off the headphones for me, Kingston. What do you think that is? 5th, yeah. Good job. Number 13, the right to be tried soon after being accused of a crime. Ava, what do you think that is? Number 12. Keyword, due process. Which one addresses, which, guys, let's help Ava, which amendment addresses, what'd you say?
Wait, 6?
Fifth.
5th or 6th?
Fifth, yep. Fifth. Number 13, the right to be tried soon after being accused of a crime. Yep. Number 14, freedom of religion. First, yeah. Good job, guys. Number 15, the right to know the charges on which one is being held. 6, we've seen 6 come up a lot, right? Guys, remember 6. Question, if an officer puts you in handcuffs and didn't read you your rights, is that a problem? Do you have a case? Officers have to read you your rights. Okay. What are we up to? Number 16. You have implied rights not specifically listed in the Constitution. And where it says you, that means you, people, not the state. 16. You have the implied rights not specifically listed in the Constitution. What do you got? Chris, what do you say?
9.
Does everyone agree?
It's 9.
9. Okay. Number 17, the right to a jury in a civil case. We got Dorian, what you got? The 17, the right to a jury in a civil case. 7. 6 has to do with criminal cases. 7th Amendment has to do with civil cases. And civil cases are for lawsuits. Remember the word civil, person against person. 18, freedom from unreasonable search and seizure. We all agree? 4th? Yeah. Number 19, the right to be paid for private property taken for public use. Number 19, yeah. Do you guys understand this one, number 19? So, if the government wants to build a highway and they want your house, they can take your house.
You can?
They can. Yeah.
They have to pay you, right?
They have to pay. They have to pay you fair market value for your house, and they have to give you time to leave, right? They can't come in on Monday and say, we're gonna pay you $1 for your home because we need it, and you gotta leave by the weekend, right? But they can. Number 20, the right to obtain witnesses in one's defense. The right to obtain witnesses in one's defense. And what kind of situations do you need a witness? Yeah, yep. Good job, Chris. Good job, Isaiah. Number 21, freedom to petition the government to correct grievances. Say it again, Chris. First, does everyone agree? Okay. And what does the word grievances mean? So it's in your definitions. What is a grievance? What is a grievance that you may have against the government? What does that mean to have one?
You have a problem with one of the laws?
Yeah, you can sue. You can petition the government. That means that you can sue the government.
So it's first.
Yep. First. You may not win. You may not win, but it is your right. Number 22, no cruel or unusual punishments.
8.
Is that? Chris, what you got?
8th Amendment.
8th Amendment, yep. Last one, number 23, no excessive bails or fines.
8th.
What do you got? Who else said 8th? Ebron? Do we agree? Yep, 8th Amendment. That is correct. Okay, guys, good work. Yes. submit this assignment, submit yesterday's assignment also. Has everyone done yesterday's assignment yet? Who still has to do it?
I think I already submitted yesterday.
I think I did too.
Do it? Okay, so what we'll do, guys, right? I'm gonna give you guys the rest of the period to work on yesterday's assignment. Have them both turn in, cause they both need to be turned before the quiz tomorrow, right? So sometime today. Guys, good job. Tomorrow, Bill of Rights quiz. Study. You guys are pretty good. You guys are pretty good so far, right? But look over your notes from the first 10 amendments. That's on Google Classroom. It's not gonna look exactly like this in this format, right? It's gonna be more of a question format, right? Some longer questions. I believe you guys will do well. Guys, any questions? What's up?
Have you ever seen these signs before?
I've seen some crazy signs. No, I've seen some crazy signs before. I've seen, I've seen a lot of like outward flood signs, flood signs that say like something. Yeah, like trespassing and flood signs, those are good.
Where are these property, when they tell us not to trespass, where are these types of properties?
So, in those type of situations, that is a private property.
Is it like a farm?
Like somebody owns it, right? Even if there's no houses on the land,
Yeah.
somebody owns it. Yeah, and they have full right to private property. Once you start beyond that line, it's a different story. You're no longer on public property.
How much no one's in the house? It's abandoned house.
How you do it?
Yeah.
How much still, where's
So for example, I'll give you an example. The First Amendment, freedom of press, right? You're allowed to be in public spaces and record and take video. In a private space, right? If you cross that line, even if it's abandoned, you have no right to record. That means that you would have to get permission of the person who owns the property to be able to record.
Does it have like a number listed or not?
Whether it has a number listed or not. So you can take your chance, but it's not your right. Right?
Someone owns it, you can easily call a cop.
Someone, yeah, and they are in full right, but you can get their permission. You get their permission, you just can't pull out your phone and start
Yeah, I mean,
recording.
You know, air people, you know, you go to the area, people
Wait,
work on private property. In Vegas.
And they really, yeah, I see some stuff, like Area 51, there's a lot of
Yeah,
controversy
well,
behind Area 51.
Are there people in there or no?
Who knows?
Who's the aliens? Come on, aliens.
Listen, I fully believe in aliens.
Huh?
I fully believe in aliens. Are they in Area 51? I don't know. I don't know.
We can request for that.
Okay,
Now you know. If you,
so guys, I'm assuming you guys have yesterday's assignment turned in, right?
how the hell are you in the big class? You literally know.
Even regular boss kids get stopped too by the security all the time.
Really?
Yeah, either
What
way,
do you
they're
use?
you're probably doing, because they're doing something bad. It's either one.
So,
Athletics.
and it's a random stop without any probable cause?
Yeah, it happened one time, me and I was like, what's the name of the overnight security conversation?
What level on
Like, those young guys. I didn't think they were bothered by anything.
Guys, wait till, do me a favor, guys, wait and see.
It's just
on.
not good.
I didn't think they were bothered by anything. She had no problem with us stopping.
So, remember, right, who got stopped? Who was it?
Some young guys.
Some young guys? Alright, guys, Chris just brought up the situation, right? We talked about this. You get stopped, if you're walking, you're on the way to the mosque or the church or whatever, and you get stopped by the police, right? And they start questioning you, right? What do you ask them for?
Under arrest.
Right? That's a good question. Am I being detained, right? What do they need to have?
Probable cause.
Marcus? Calm down for a second. What do they need to have? But they need to have probable cause, but what are you asking? You're asking the officer, do you have any reasonable articulable suspicion that I am committing a crime. Right? Because it is your right to know if they're investigating a crime, or if you're being accused of committing a crime, you have the right to what? You got the right to know, right? That's what you ask. You can choose to start answering questions if you want, but what is your Fifth Amendment right? Plead the Fifth, guys, what's your Fifth Amendment right? Read the Fifth. Hey, do you have any articulable, and articulable means any crime that you can state that I'm committing at the time, right? Do you have any articulable suspicion of a crime that I'm committing? No, you don't. I'm on my way to worship. Hey, cop asks you a few more questions. Hey, I choose to invoke my Fifth Amendment right. That's it. Cop persists. The third question can be, am I being detained? Which means, am I under arrest? Or am I being held for the investigation of a crime? Guys, have a good day. See y'all tomorrow.
We got stopped on the way to the escalator. I was like, I heard a little bit of the conversation. I was like, why are they even stopped? They haven't even done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Security.
Right.
And they showed.
Bye, Eva. Have a good day.
They weren't doing nothing wrong. They were 18. They looked like grown men. They were getting stopped.
They get stopped. Yeah. So remember, they have the right to stop.
If
Right.
there wasn't wrong, yeah.
If you don't, they can stop. They can stop you if they want, right? But remember, also you gotta know your rights.
Yeah.
The First Amendment.